Presidents. As leader of the free world, nobody is more revered or more in the spotlight. From the time a candidate announces their campaign, tabloids, newspapers, and fact-checkers dig into their private lives, revealing skeletons thought long forgotten. With such attention, it's no wonder that presidents are such a prime target for conspiracies. November 22, 1963. President John F. Kennedy is assassinated in Dallas, Texas while traveling with his motorcade. Lee Harvey Oswald, the sole suspect in the shooting, was arrested and taken into custody. But 2 days later, while being transported, Oswald was murdered as well, ending any hope that he would give up the truth in trial. With so little known about what exactly happened, and with the government being the lead source of information on Kennedy's death, conspiracy theorists have dedicated their lives trying to uncover what really happened that day in Dallas. The most known theory to date is the idea of a second gunman. Some say that Lee Harvey Oswald did not act alone, or that he was just a patsy because he had spent some time living in the Soviet Union. In 1964, the Warren Commission found that Oswald acted alone, but in 1979, the United States House Select Committee of Assassination stated there was likely a second shooter, adding fuel to the conspiracy flames. Others insist that Kennedy's assassination was much more organized than that the US government themselves perpetrated the act and covered up key details in the wake of Kennedy's heinous death. These theorists believe that the Mafia, the KGB, the CIA, and Fidel Castro were all working together to bring the president's life to an end. Whatever the truth may be, there may be nobody left alive to tell the tale. President Barack Obama has seen a lot of conspiracy theories in his 8 years serving as a United States president. For years, opponents of Obama and conspiracy theorists have made claims and accusations that President Obama does not fit in the criteria to be POTUS. Some believe that he is of African descent, his father's country of birth. Others think that Obama is Cuban. Even though Obama has since come forward with his Hawaiian birth certificate, it has not been enough to satiate theorists. Most recently, Donald Trump joined the bandwagon saying, was there a birth certificate? Some people even claim that the certificate wasn't even real. Well, even if all the conspiracies were true, there's no going back now. December 7th, 1941. Japan drops a flurry of bombs on the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor. To most, it looked like America was surprised by the attack, and certainly many lives were lost. But to others, the belief is that high-ranking government officials, including President Franklin Roosevelt, had prior knowledge of the bombing and let it play out anyway for the sake of political posturing. Nationally accredited writers, journalists, and even military officials all came forward to support this claim, hoping to bring justice not only to the American soldiers, but to Japanese citizens as well, whose lives were taken in the retaliation attacks at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Furthermore, their claims seem to have been supported by military documents that were reviewed at the time of the attack. To make matters even worse, it was widely believed that a Japanese transmission was heard warning of an imminent attack. Though several investigations were conducted, it is now widely believed by historians that these theories have no basis in reality. In fact, key files have now been released to the Public Record Office in Kew that makes this conspiracy theory nothing more than a flash in the pan. The Clintons, a political family who has remained firmly in the spotlight since President Bill Clinton took office in 1993. Since that time, theorists have positioned that the Clinton family have been behind some seriously dubious acts. In 1998, unknown sources on the internet released a list of names. The source alleges that those on the list were all people that President Clinton had killed for a variety of different reasons. What makes this speculation so wild is that there are members on the list that have had the smallest connections to the Clinton family as possible. There's even one girl whose only connection was that she was in attendance at a speech that President Clinton gave. Most historians and analysts think that the list of 47 names hold no weight, but others believe that they see it growing as Hillary campaigns for her seat at the Oval Office. Since announcing her candidacy, Hillary has seen a slew of conspiracies. Some would even say that she is behind one of the largest cover-ups of all time, the bombing of Benghazi, in which 4 Americans were killed. Proponents of this theory, mostly those on political right, feel that while Secretary of State, Hillary let the attack on Benghazi happen to push the Democratic political agenda. It It is widely believed in these circles that during the time she would have to testify, Hillary even faked being ill with the flu to try and remove herself from the testimony process. Former presidential candidate Ben Carson has even gone as far to say that Hillary's push for the legalization of marijuana is just a distraction to make people forget that she perpetrated the Benghazi cover-up. Others believe that even President Obama was involved in the cover-up. Those thoughts seem to be led by Glenn Beck, who believes that Obama's push to attack the Syrian regime was just an attempt to cover up the cover-up. That's quite the rabbit hole, isn't it? Still, this isn't even close to all the conspiracies the Clintons have been accused of since their rise to power. Some say that their only daughter, Chelsea Clinton, was not even fathered by Bill himself. What will Clinton conspiracists think of next? September 11th, 2001. The attack on the World Trade Center. Perhaps no modern event has been discussed or theorized more. The ever-growing list of conspiracies seem to move broader in scope, yet each and every one of them tend to put the blame squarely on the shoulders of President George W. Bush. First of all, it is believed to some extent that traders on Wall Street had insider knowledge of the attack. Fans of this theory like to put out that a large amount of options were placed on American Airlines and United Airlines stock, both airlines that were used in the bombing. It is speculated that bin Laden himself was involved in the insider tip, and evidence from the Securities and Exchange Commissions has even helped to prove that. It is also said that NORAD was told to stand down due to underwhelming activity of fighter jet presence in the skies that day. There's also the belief that planes didn't make the towers fall, but bombs did. Theorists have scrutinized news footage of the attack to a microscopic level, claiming that because of the way the towers fell, the explosive force must have come from inside the building by a demolition crew. A large amount of those people also believe that jet fuel does not burn hot enough to melt steel, and because of that, the attacks must have been an inside job with a fuel far more disruptive than that of a commercial airline. The plane that also appears to have hit the Pentagon has also been theorized about as well. Theorists claim that scientifically, the footage of the Pentagon attack does not hold up. For starters, they believe that the damage left was significantly less than would have been if a jet actually had touched down. It has been speculated as well that the cell phone calls from the plane, the tapes of bin Laden claiming the attack, and the hijacking of Flight 93 were all completely staged. If all of this is true, the cover-up of the 9/11 attacks would make Hillary's Benghazi scandal look like Ryan Lachey's Rio trip. Still, it's hard to overlook the enormous amount of evidence. Documentarians have made the potential 9/11 cover-up as widely circulated as the American dollar. What do you believe? Could all of this have been avoided? Whatever you believe about any of these theories, they are certainly enough to make you think. Are we, the public, being told the whole truth about some of the world's largest and most influential events? Or are shadowy figures lying in wait, ready to make us believe whatever they want us to? You tell us. Well, that is enough dark matter for today, don't you think? Check out our channel for fun stuff as well, and don't forget to subscribe.